Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Papa John's. The day after the Flyers win and score 3 or more goals, get 50% off your online order using promo code FLYERS at papajohns.com. By Mazda. Mazda is KBB.com's lowest cost-to-own brand over 5 years. And by the $100,000 Sugar House Shootout. Register at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/shootout.
And Thursday night at the Wells Fargo Center, we welcome you back. Tonight, the Winnipeg Jets are in town to take on the Flyers, and it gives us a chance to check out our Kia starting goaltenders. In net for the Winnipeg Jets, rookie Michael Hutchinson. We don't know that much about him, but we know he's got a heck of a record at 14-4-2. He is starting for the Jets. Back in goals for the Flyers is Steve Mason. His first start since before the All-Star break. He came in relief a couple of nights ago and picked up the W for the Flyers. So there you have it, our Kia starting goalies tonight.
Mason and Hutchinson ready to go, as are the rest of the players. This the second and final meeting, as we said, is beating back a month ago in Winnipeg. One of the more entertaining games of the season as the Flyers storm from behind to get the overtime win. Big Voracek and Denis Lecavalier each scoring a couple of goals. And as we mentioned, Dustin Byfuglien certainly was in the middle of things in that game. Since moving back to defense, he's been the highest scoring defenseman in the NHL. Mark Streit is right behind him, second.
It's tough to lose track of Byfuglien on the ice at 6'5" and 260 pounds. He's built more like a defensive end than he is a defenseman. He can skate, and he is part of this Winnipeg lineup that is fast, they are physical, and they're big. Not as big as Byfuglien, but they are big.
Streit racks up the points in a different way for the Flyers, but both Byfuglien and Streit have been very busy on the score sheet over the last 6 or 7 weeks, and we're underway. Game 2 of this 4-game homestand after the All-Star break for the Flyers. Effectively 5 consecutive home games with a game against Pittsburgh, and just 7 seconds in, the puck skips out of play. R.J. Umberger, who was very busy the other night with a goal and 5 scoring chances. Craig Berube barking something out here early on as he's hoping his team can put together some consistency. One game to the next.
And telling us before the game that he really believes this game tonight is all about play along the walls and play in the corner. That's how physical Winnipeg likes to play it. Flyers have to be ready to match it.
Winnipeg combinations at the top of your screen as the Jets move to center ice. Here's their captain Andrew Ladd firing one in. Steve Mason the stick save, and the puck all the way out to Matt Reed. As in their home orange jerseys, road whites for the Jets, who have won 5 of their last 6. They are in 4th place in the Central Division, but really just a 2 or 3 game streak away from being right up at the top of that division, as they're having an outstanding year trying to get into the playoffs for only the 2nd time in franchise history. Matthew Perreault to the puck. Perreault's been red hot. He gets the puck back out to the point. Set in along the boards by the Jets, and now Blake Wheeler behind the net. Wheeler back to Perreault. Perreault skates it all the way out to the line and then goes across ice. Bogosian shot blocked off by Reed and bounces all the way down the ice. Perreault has to go get it as the Flyers are changing players. Toby Enstrom will just lob one back down to the Philadelphia ice. Schenn plays it through center, but right back into the Philadelphia end it goes, and Luke will pick it up there. Status quo for the Flyers. The combination is the turnover, and the shot is snared by Mason. He's firing away. Kane out with Adam Lowry and Chris Thorburn, and their best line the other night in their loss in Pittsburgh. Shot here by Jacob Trouba is stopped by Mason. Time in the offensive zone early for the Jets. Flyers turning the puck over 2 or 3 times already. Here's Voracek flipping it back further into his own zone and then moving it along for Michael Del Zotto. Zotto trying to get the puck ahead to Brayden Schenn. He does, and Schenn clears the zone. Fired right back in. by Mark Stewart. Just came off the injured list and right back out on the ice for the Jets.
Michael Del Zotto with the puck behind the net. What a heads-up confident play he made to get the puck out of the zone when the Flyers needed a change just a couple of seconds ago. His play continues to improve.
Now the Jets move back at Halischuk. Bounce one in on Mason. Big rebound. Halischuk after it, but he's denied by Andrew McDonald. And now Wayne Simmons has the puck for Philadelphia. Back to McDonald. Just over 2 minutes in. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet for the Flyers and Jets. Puck into the middle and carried on in by Ryan White in center for Simmons. He couldn't quite get a shot off as he was being checked by Ben Sherratt. Defensively paired with Bufflin. He's really played well. There's Simmons. Trying to get across ice, but that will drift out to the neutral zone. Carlo Koliakovo has to go back and get it for Philadelphia. Koliakovo. Move it ahead. Redirected by Peter Straka, but he could not get the puck deep into the Jet zone. But now it's picked up by Bellemare. Edward Bellemare turning around with it as he's being checked. He'll wrap it into the corner. Cavalier will send it along to the other side of the ice. Right in from the point for Chris Vandevelde. He pushes it along for LeCavalier, who centered it out in front. It goes all the way through and out to center ice. Cavalier, as we mentioned in the open, 2 goals against the Jets in the earlier meeting. This line spent a lot of time in the offensive zone that night.
That was not that night, then the game before that they were first put together. Right. So the stretch has continued of these 3 guys really playing well enough that Craig Berube hasn't had an opportunity and had good reason to break them up.
And the only line you can say that about over that stretch of time. There's Trouba, a young defenseman, only 20 years of age. That's the puck deep into Philadelphia ice. Matt Reed will play it. Zotto got him the puck. He takes a big hit, but the Flyers move up with it. Here's Couturier in across the line. Couturier marked by Trouba. Take him to the boards. Frolik is there, but he's checked by R.J. Umberger. And the puck drifting to Stewart. He'll send it off a stick ahead, and Mathieu Perreault has it. Perreault, a 4-goal game a couple weeks back, but then he got cross-checked by Hank Carcillo and had to miss a couple games with an arm injury. Big Shen trying to keep the puck away from Martin Scheifele, and he does. Flyers will look to move up. Flyers looking for their first shot on goal still. 4 for the Jets already, but none for Philadelphia through the first 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Trouba ahead looking for Chris Thorburn, who has 3 goals in his last 4 games, but he's met by Koliakovo. Puck bounces across the neutral zone. Adam Lowry is there. His father Dave, former NHLer. Flyers getting on goal. Mason bats that one up into the safety netting, and play is stopped. We'll look at the scratches from the lineups. For the Jets, TJ Galliardi was just placed on waivers today to allow Stewart to get back in the lineup. And the Flyers still without Michael Raffl. He is ill. He's lost 10 to 12 pounds. But as we look at Paul Maurice, good news for the Flyers. Scott Laughton and Nick Grossman both skating and hopefully returning sooner rather than later.
How about Paul Maurice? 2 weeks ago became the 2nd youngest coach in NHL history to win 500 games at age 47. 2nd youngest, Scotty Bowman, the only guy younger.
That is quite a story. Of course, he started very young, but 47 years of age when he got graduated. He'll turn 48 tomorrow. Will Paul Maurice, but he's been coaching a long time for a guy who hasn't hit the big 5-0 yet. Here's a pass to Brayden Schenn, cutting it on goal! Lost control, never got a shot off. Now he centers it, and Giroux fanning on a shot. It eventually makes its way to Hutchinson. He covers up. Downstairs we go inside the glass for the first time to Ristarians.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. You know, I think when you look at this line that's just coming off the ice right now, Claude Giroux along with Voracek and Schenn, 2 of those guys have been right at the top of the NHL scoring all year. You see Voracek and Giroux. Giroux you kind of expected, guys, but when you look at Jake Voracek, he has kind of come out of nowhere, having an opportunity, seize the moment playing with Giroux, and he's become his own complete player. Right up there along with some pretty great names. Guys that maybe aren't there this year, no Crosby Malkin, but Jake Voracek is.
Straka after the puck for the Flyers. Centered it out in front, blocked off by Enstrom. Voracek jokingly took a picture when he was tied for the scoring lead with Sidney Crosby really early in the year. No joke anymore. Simmons' shot there is deflected off the stick it out of play. No joke anymore as he sits atop everybody well past the midpoint of the season.
Well, the Flyers don't have a shot on goal yet, but they came really close. What a play by number 63 for the Jets here, Ben Sherratt. Right there, he took one hand on his stick and wrapped Brayden Schenn right there just as Schenn was making his move. I think it forced Schenn to lose control of the puck, and the Flyers still without a shot on goal, even though that qualifies as a scoring chance.
Yeah, and what I like, though, Billy, the speed the Flyers came with on that rush. That's what they want to do in this game tonight if they're going to have a good chance against Winnipeg, who, by the way, is the best road team in the NHL, has been all year.
And Jake Voracek with that pass, and he leads the NHL in assists for a reason. Able to spring Brayden Schenn there. And yes, the Jets more points than any other team on the road. 14-6-5 away from MTS Center. Flyers, of course, have been very good at home. Their struggles have been on the road. As Blake Wheeler to the Philadelphia line. His pass ends up going out to center, and there's Sean Couturier. Couturier all by himself. Takes the stick up high, but the referee thought it was worthy of a penalty. Justin St. Pierre and Ian Walsh. The referees. There's a turnover, though. Couturier to the puck. Turns, fires! And was blocked off in front. Here's Lecavalier getting to it. The centering pass knocked down by Van de Velde. Van de Velde around behind the net. Out for Delzato. Delzato quickly back out to Luke Schenn for a shot. Hutchinson saw it all the way, and the Flyers have their first shot on goal. Hutchinson with the save. We'll be back. No score early on. Flyers and Jets here in Philadelphia. Let's have a look at our Ontario travel. Flyers game notes. And the Flyers at home, as we mentioned. Good solid record. The Jets at the top of the road. Jake Voracek has been on the top of the NHL scoring charts for quite some time. These game notes brought to you by Discover Ontario. Paul Maurice has to be happy with those numbers. 14-6-5 away from home.
Doing everything right. And this is, by and large, the roster that the Jets have had for the last 2 or 3 years. And that's how much Paul Maurice has meant to this team. He coaches structure, and the players have bought in.
It's really interesting, and we'll get into it, the makeup of this team and how consistent it has been for a team that hasn't been in the playoffs since they made the move. Several years before that as well. Behind the Philadelphia net, bodies hitting the ice. The Flyers come up with the puck. Delzato on the outlet is on the money to Lecavalier. Lecavalier in across the line. Belmar charges the net. The pass for him drifted back on the boards as he was tied up. Now it's Delzato. Wrist shot. Chest save. Hutchinson rebound. They score! This line keeps going to work in front, and Chris Van de Velde has scored a goal for the 4th time in his last 5 games. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. Van de Velde scores for a case of tasty cake.
Hot again is Chris Van de Velde. You can't stop him. You just have to try to contain him. Arizona did that 2 nights ago after he scored 3 goals in 3 games, and he is back at it tonight, picking up a rebound chance. Michael Delzato with a good job to get the puck through and make it a shot that Hutchinson couldn't grab and squeeze off.
Chris Van de Velde plays the game the right way. Goes to the front of the net, competes for his space, and as a result finds a loose puck into the back of the net. Great job by that line again.
Amazing run he has been on. There's now 5 goals in his last 8 games. And before that, he had 3 goals in 77 NHL games. 4 his last 5, and as Chris says, he just knows where to go, and he goes there with some determination.
Confidence and chemistry sure help.
That line just continues to supply some production as well as just spend time in the offensive zone. Offside the call at the Philadelphia line.
Nothing about reinventing the wheel here, guys. Straight shot, rebound, battling for his space in that blue paint. And Van de Velde's able to carry him the puck around the back of Hutchinson. It's just an effort goal, but a smart play. That's how you score a lot of goals in this league, and Van de Velde recognizes that.
Chris, you know this. Even as a defenseman, you've got to know who is in goal. Hutchinson catches with his right hand.
Yep.
If Delzato shoots the puck to Hutchinson's right, that's an easy save for him. You put it on the other side, it's harder to control. So that was a good read and a good job by Michael Delzato, too.
Yeah, 2 goalies like that in this game tonight, Bill. Mason as well as Hutchinson, which is very rare.
That is.
Yeah.
See 2 of them in the same game. Poliakovo moving the puck ahead. It's backhanded out of the zone by Flyers Ryan White, and then he is dumped by Thorburn. Icing is the call.
Well, it's time to get serious about your Valentine's plans. Get a pair of tickets, a bottle of Chadds Ford Winery Flyers wine, a free tasting at any Chadds Ford location, and more. It's all $99 with the Flyers Valentine's Pack. That's a heck of a package.
It is. Flyers, for only the 4th time in their last 16 games, have scored the first goal. Wanted better starts. They had the first goal in this one. They've been a good team when they do score. First, big save, Mason, and it's tied just like that as the Jets come right back and even this one quickly. And again, it's about going to the net. 1-1 hockey game. Matthew Perreault, who has really come through in a big way for this Jets club, was right in the middle of things.
Well, this has similarities to the goal the Flyers scored because the puck came right down to Perreault exactly where he needed it. The Flyers with a failed clear, and the Jets get it to the front of the net quickly. Steve Mason made the save, but wasn't able to control the rebound because it was originally deflected by Perreault.
Yeah, the one difference here, Billy, from the Van de Velde goal is that the Flyers defenseman kind of blew out of the zone a little bit, and Matthew Perreault decided to stay in the zone, and there really wasn't a lot of coverage. So Koliakovo came back. By that time, it was too late.
Not many people realize that Matthew Perreault has been one of the hottest goal scorers in the NHL. Over the last month and a half, he has 14 goals in his last 23 games. This is a guy they picked up as a free agent during the offseason after he scored a career-high 18 last year. He has 16 already this year.
He's just a little guy. The Flyers with a couple of attempts to clear. That second one by Andrew McDonald. And when you're pretty sure your guy's going to clear the zone, it's hard not to get on your horse to try to get an advantage and get out and force things in the neutral zone. And when it turns over the blue line like that, you can get caught the way the Flyers did.
Just a minute and 18 seconds later, that's right back even in this game, and we start over again as that puck drifts out of play. Tomorrow, Michael Barkan's talking about the Flyers and Sixers, and of course the Eagles offseason. The Eagles made a move today. Watch Philly Sports Talk presented by Comcast Business tomorrow night at 5 on Comcast Sports.
You know, you mentioned that point you just made, Jimmy, about Perreault and those numbers. They're difficult guys because, you know what, you don't pay attention to them like you do the other players on the team until you look at the box score at the end of the night and they're on it every single game.
Yeah, you think of him as a secondary scorer, but
absolutely.
Now he's only 2 goals off the club leading pace. So
yep, it's amazing how that happens.
Becoming one of the primary scorers in a hurry. Mason grabbing that offering from the Jets, and he'll hang on.
Dustin Byfuglien was matched up in the last game often against Claude Giroux, and he tried to do as much damage as he could. The Jets are trying to do that again tonight. The last laugh was had by Claude Giroux in overtime as he was able to strip Byfuglien on the puck, popped out to Jake Voracek for the winner, and then Craig Berube got into it with Byfuglien as they exited the ice. So that's why you kind of expected that everybody's hearts would be beating fast as this game started.
Wheeler getting it back to the point. Here is Byfuglien flipping when it changes direction, but is knocked down in front. Byfuglien jokingly saying he watched some fight tapes of Craig Berube just in case.
Yeah,
but Chief, no interest in that as he talked with the media earlier today.
Nothing's gonna happen. No, just, you know, emotions get involved in the game, and he plays a hard game, and he was a real impact in that game up there. You know, real impact. He's a physical guy with a lot of talent.
He had said the laugh right before that was, I'm too old and he's too big.
Well, guess what? Dustin Byfuglien for 6'5", 260 doesn't drop the gloves all that often.
That is true. And
nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah, really. Good point.
Yeah.
Finding that puck, and he'll hang on. A little milling around as Byfuglien takes the rest on the bench.
If you're going to fight Dustin Byfuglien, you better have a great left hook and a step ladder.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's senseless to try to get into it. You see the numbers here. I mean, look at the Chief talked about his talent level, and look, you got Mark Streit, who's been always an offense defenseman. Then you got a defenseman turned forward, turned defenseman again in Byfuglien, and you know what? He knows what he's doing with the puck. He's a good hockey player.
Well, the offense for the Jets has taken off since Byfuglien went back on defense, and he didn't go there by design. They were hit with a ton of injuries, and he was forced back to the blue line.
Craig Ramsey put him there. Did you guys know that?
And the whistle stopping play here on the interference call. And so the first power play of the game off of this play right here.
Good job by Braden Shen. He's got his motor running hot in this one, skating really well. And if you can get half a step on a guy along the boards, he's got no choice. He's got 2 choices, really. Let you go or take a penalty.
So Bogosian, who was one of those defensemen that was out when Buffalo was forced back on D, now sits in the box. McDonald's power play payoff contested. Flyers try to get the lead back in this game. Strike to Giroux. Giroux all the way across forward check. In front, redirected, Schenn save, rebound save. Hutchinson trying to cover it, and finally it just kicks to the corner, and the Jets will clear it all the way down.
Hutchinson was barking at the ref for a call there. He didn't get the whistle.
Fifth-ranked power play for the Flyers. It's a red-hot power play, 29% over the last 11 games. The second-best home power play in the NHL. Here's Giroux, knifing his way in. Giroux knocked down, then flips it back to Voracek. In front, Schenn, and he cannot finish. Diving was Hutchinson to make the save.
Oh, boy.
The passing, though, unbelievable by Giroux. When he was unwinding and out of control, he knew he wasn't going to be able to get a shot away. Watch this pass Giroux makes back to Mark Streit. Are you kidding me? And then Streit to Schenn. He was too close, I think, to Hutchinson to get it over him, Chris.
Yeah, that looked like one of those plays where it's like, uh-oh, I got the puck right in front of the goalie. What do I do with it? And you know what? You're right. He ran out of real estate.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened. But what a play by Giroux. I mean, that is just, talk about eyes in the back of your head, guys. That's incredible. It's been a fast-paced start to this game by both sides, and it's been exciting hockey.
Off the face-off to the right of Hutchinson. Jets player was sitting on the puck and got away with it. Crowd didn't like that. Jets move ahead. Frolik will just chip it in. For Frolik, on for Byfuglien. Byfuglien out on the kill. Slater lifted back to take his position as Byfuglien went forward on the penalty kill. These Jets are dangerous. 7 shorthanded goals, second most in the NHL. So you have to be aware of them even when they are killing penalties. Cavalier with a deke right before the line. That forces the offside. 51 seconds remaining on the man advantage. That's what we were telling you about. Almost 30% over the last 11 games. That's home and road. And they've been hot all year at home.
The Flyers in late December, as you see the Winnipeg Jets and their penalty killing. The Flyers went through a stretch at the end of December where they didn't have a power play goal in 6 straight games. Now clicking along at 14 in the last 13. So it comes and it goes. We just don't want it to be gone for too long.
It hasn't really gone on this particular power play after that first sequence because the Flyers have not been able to get set up. Trouba dragging the puck to waste some time, and then it's rifled all the way down the ice by Stewart. Still 25 seconds remaining on the power play as Streit will get to Giroux. At least he tried to. It's stolen by Wheeler. It's a sloppy pass there. Flyers now try again. One rush left on this bad advantage. Braden Schenn all the way across it. Makes its way to Voracek. Voracek in front. Simmons. He scores! Just like that. It's a beautiful power play. And Wayne Simmons comes home his 11th man advantage goal of the year. 2-1 Philadelphia. Simmons scoring again on the power play for a case of tasty game.
Boy, it's been a while since the Flyers have passed the puck like this, especially in a first period. Braden Schenn with a pass that made it to Jake Voracek. Wayne Simmons going to his money spot right in front, and he cashes.
Passing all the way up the ice, tape to tape, different paces, different speeds. For this one here, Voracek with the speed. Simmons going same side on Hutchinson. That is a terrific pass. Great finish by Simmons, and the Flyers just really have good legs in this game.
So Wayne Simmons continues to climb the ladder in terms of power play goal scoring this year. The Flyers power play continues to do the job. Doesn't matter if you don't get set up for a minute and a half stretch of a power play, as long as you can finish the play like that.
And the power play is not over until the guy comes out of the box.
That's entirely true. Beat the clock there by 6 seconds. Bogosian into the Philadelphia zone. He'll play it around behind the Philadelphia. Then Mason. It's to Delzato. Then across for Luke Schenn. Run at by Thorburn, who's been very physical here early on. That's no surprise. Byfuglien to the puck. Missing Thorburn with that pass, but they wave icing off. And here's Lowry. This line has been very good for the Jets, similar to that line for the Flyers, centered by Belmar. They just basically grind it out. Spend a lot of time in the offensive zone. They're physical. I was able to get it out of their zone here, though. And across it goes to Voracek. Voracek tried to cut to the middle. He was cut off by Byfuglien. That's Koliakovo winding it into the Winnipeg zone. Voracek takes a hit, flings it to the middle, but there's Byfuglien again. And he'll send Evander Kane to center. Kane, who's been hot of late, backhands in, crashes into McDonald, gets the puck, centers, but it's intercepted by Koliakovo. Lowry was there. Koliakovo was able to intercept. Koliakovo then fires it out of play. The question is, did it hit the glass on the way out of play? I'll tell you when we come back. Wayne Simmonds has given the Flyers the lead back, punching home the power play goal.
Any way you cut it, Wayne Simmonds, wearing the A for alternate captain, number 17 for the Flyers, is flat out getting it done. Last 4 seasons, power play goals, he trails only Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Caps. He is persistent. He has a touch. He knows how to drive the net. He knows how to finish.
With his 11 power play goals this year, he's now tied for 3rd in the NHL. Gustav Nyquist of the Red Wings behind only Pavelski and Ovechkin. He gets them via deflections, via rebounds, via some of those moves that he can make in tight.
You know who he learned from? He told me the most was playing with Ryan Smith, the great goal scorer Ryan Smith, and he said not even Ryan Smith teaching him, but just watching him and seeing what he did in front of the net. Wayne Simmonds, he's one of the few guys I know that can just watch someone and then go out and do it, especially in situations like that. But he is mastering it more and more every month.
Really no surprise as to why the Flyers power play has been successful. Who the key players are. They have 3 of the league's top 5 power play point producers now. Voracek and Streit. Simmonds, in terms of goal production, right near the top. Here's Reed moving up. The shot goes wide. And out to Umberger. He'll fire one. That goes off of Stewart in front. Couturier unable to come up with it in Brian Little. The goal scorer for the Jets moves it back the other way. Little is in. Streit pokes it away from him, and now R.J. Umberger sets sail the other way. Umberger turning before he got to the red line. He's knocked down. And just push it back.
You know why I think he turned there, Jimmy? The door, the bench door was open on the Winnipeg bench, and RJ was coming up about 15 feet before then, getting closed off. That's a scary thought, to think of getting hit into an open door like that.
Serious injuries have transpired in that situation. Here's Mark Scheifele moving it up, looking for Frolik, but he's stopped by Delzato. Rink wide feet, LeCavalier speeding across the line. The quick shot sails high and wide. All the way out to Delzato. Delzato looking for Vandenbelde along the wall. Now Belmar will chip it to LeCavalier back out in front. Belmar sweeping it back out. Schenn will move it along and then take the return feed. His shot deflected just wide. LeCavalier got his stick on it, but it missed the target. Again, a good shift from this line. Finally, the Jets able to get the puck out of the zone, and Frolik throws it over Delzato's head in Philadelphia zone. Scheifele comes together with Luke Schenn, the Flyers' leading hitter. Takes him off the play, and now Luke has the puck. Move it ahead to Vandenbelde. Handcuffed him a little bit with that pass. The Jets able to come up with it. Leonard Kane winding it in. Mason cannot cut it off. Coburn will drop for Lowry. Now the checking line of the Jets goes to work. Kane centering pass knocked down by Mason, and he jumps on top of it. 4:41 play in the first.
Time to take a look at our Chevy player profile of the game, and it is Evander Kane of the Winnipeg Jets. You can see Kane's numbers here, guys. He drafted 4th overall in 2009. This guy has tremendous speed on top of the numbers. A 3-assist game against Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And he is a guy that can put the puck in the net. Has had 30 goals before and 5th already on the Atlanta-Winnipeg all-time list with 109 goals. Very, very good speed. Get under his skin in these hockey games, guys, but he can kill you if he gets a burst of speed and can score goals.
This puck around the slot of the Flyers zone, kick free. Evander Kane is 23 years old. Seems like he's been around forever, and he has. He started as a teenager. And there's always rumors that he may be getting moved. He has a big contract. I know a lot of teams would like to have him. He's a very talented player indeed. As Hutchinson grabs a hold of that bouncing puck. Tonight's Jeep Trivia question. Winnipeg Jets / Atlanta Thrashers franchise has faced only one team in the playoffs. It was San Jose, the New York Rangers, or the Detroit Red Wings. I'll give you the answer later on. They have not been in the playoffs very often, and in fact, They have not been in the playoffs at all in the last 7 seasons. The second longest drought right off the draw. Shot by Giroux, stopped by Hutchinson.
I can tell you that in that same trivia that Atlanta franchise had only played 4 games that year. You know the answer to that? It was not a good run to the playoffs.
Which means they didn't have any wins.
That's right.
The puck is moved ahead. Bufflin behind.
You guys put 2 and 2 together really well.
Little a shot. St. Mason rebound in front. Bufflin tied up just enough by Schultz. It is a penalty, but he probably saved a goal right there. Delayed call. The net is empty. Perreault jumps off the bench. And the Jets with some extra time here. Sherratt will lob one to center ice, but that'll be played by the Flyers, and you get your whistle. And so the Jets will get their first power play of the game.
Well, everybody likes a deal, and the Xfinity Live Thursday night pack includes a ticket, pregame appetizer, and postgame beverage, plus a $10 gift card. You can't beat it. It's all at Xfinity Live, starting at $55. Visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com, and you can see the available games right there.
Schultz absolutely saved a goal here. You can see the rebound again. Mason gives up a big one in front. And that is Bufflin getting down inside the crease. Schultz gives him the hook, gets the stick in the wickets there, and saves the goal.
Stick right underneath the stick about, 6 or 7 years ago. It was not a penalty, but it is now. There's Perreault. On the wall now, Luke Schenn. Puck comes back out to Bufflin. He has the big shot. Just push the puck to Perreault here. Now back to Bufflin. Across ice it goes. Pass back, looking for Perreault. Is tipped away, but not out of the zone. Perreault has it back to Perreault. Now Bufflin once again. Middle of the ice. Saucer backhand pass to Perreault for the shot. He scores!
Yikes.
He is red hot. His second of the period. A power play goal. And the Jets have tied it back up again. It's 2-2.
What a laser-like shot by Perreault. And he used players as a screen. Steve Mason barely flinched on this. And you'll know why when you see the shot that Perreault lets go. First of all, Mason couldn't see it. I think when he finally picked it up, it was by him.
Right, Billy. Double screen right there. You can see the one Flyer player, Luke Schenn, and then Frolik hanging out at the side of Mason, too, taking his eyes away. You know, I mean, that's a pinpoint shot. I don't know if Perreault, necessarily was going for that top part of the net, but he was going high somewhere. And you got a double screen in front of the net. Not much Mason can do except hopefully have that puck hit him. That's not the case.
You saw the graphic there. It was January the 13th when Perreault had the 4-goal game. And he's got himself 2 in the first 17 minutes of this one. And the Jets have tied it right back up. Flyers have had 2 leads in the game. They have not lasted all that long. Here's a point shot by Trouba. Stick save Mason. The puck goes into the safety net. We get some pushing and shoving as Evander Kane and McDonald have some words.
Evander Kane was named after Evander Holyfield.
That's right.
That might give you some indication about what he can do when he drops the gloves. He's a tough guy. We're going to go back and take one more look at the goal. Michael Frolik was putting up a screen in front, number 67 for the Jets. That's what he does with his left leg here as the puck comes to him. He lifted his left leg so that the puck actually went between his legs, under his left thigh, even tougher for...
Does that catch a piece of Frolik? It looks like it went right underneath his leg. The strange, anyway, it was a tough goal for anyone to stop because of the bodies in front.
Kane will fire that one behind the net. Lowry is tied up by McDonald. Usually you go by the reaction of the player, and he looked right out to Perreault.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered from Mason's standpoint.
No, it had no difference to Mason at all. It's a hell of a shot one way or another, but boy, it had eyes through bodies.
Stewart after it. Couldn't get the puck on the first try. Second try, jabbed it up the wall, and now bounces it to the air and out to center. Back in on the outside. So 2:12 remaining here in the first period. Lots of goals.
Wayne Simmons, the power play sniper for the Flyers. And we talk about all of the good things the players do in the power play. Flyers assistant coach Joe Mullen is the architect of the power play. And if it bogs down, he tweaks, comes up with different wrinkles and different looks. And the players always buy in. Great. And Joe Mullen doesn't get much publicity. He kind of hangs in the background as one of the Flyers' assistant coaches, but he's a valuable guy.
He was a great power play performer himself, and he's carried it over into his coaching career.
503 goals, which tell that sale.
Turnover, and Couturier's shot, and a save made by Hutchinson. Couturier almost had time for a rebound opportunity. Finally, it was closed off. And the Jets move ahead, and they fling in. The Jets are one of the highest scoring first period teams in the NHL. The Flyers have allowed a lot of first period goals, so the Flyers can get out of this period even. They'll take it, but how about getting ahead? Here's Reed. For Couturier was behind him. And now the Jets look to move back. Set in. Luke Schenn. Cross ice, Delzato. His outlet. Cavalier, who backhands, pivots, got it to Bellemare ahead. Vanderbilt could not control it. And the Jets bounce it right back down the ice. So Delzato back again. Changes direction. He's being chased by Ladd. He spins. And his outlet looking for Cavalier. Missed him, went down wide of the net, and they call it on the icing.
You know, we have to stop calling the line that Vinny Lecavalier is on a fourth line, because even looking at the lineup that the Flyers have, you can't call him that. Based on ice time, based on production, based on the length of time they've been together, I don't know what we would call him. We just started calling him a fourth line in the pecking order, but they've done more than that. I don't know what else you do.
Just call it the Bellemare line, I guess.
There you go.
He's the center. Here's Vanderbilt getting it deep. Lecavalier after with Bufflin. Bufflin shielded the puck. Got it to Sherrod in the right back. The big buff, as they call it. But chipped that one through center. Yeah, right back out. There's Bufflin again. And he'll play it in. Bufflin, the all-star rec for the Jets.
These guys are trying to hit Bufflin out here. Guys are bouncing off them like bowling pins.
That happens.
I don't know why Father hit them. Him and Drew just had a good laugh towards each other as well. That goes back to last game for sure.
260 pounds. If he is able to line you up and hit you, there won't be any laughs. As the Flyers found out up in Winnipeg. A couple of big hits for Bufflin. 5 hits. Seemed like he had more. That puck was off the glass and out of play. No penalty on Mason. 2.9 seconds is all that remains here in the period.
Everybody's kind of yucking it up a little bit. I don't know if it's sarcastic laughs or they're really having fun, but
Left over from the All-Star game.
I
He's
guess.
in good spirits.
you know, Dustin Bufflin, with his size, his shot, his skill, and his speed, he is everything you would want in a hockey player. It was always about weight management and his effort.
Wayne Simmons and Bufflin, one last exchange in the first period is history. Deuces are wild. Flyers 2 and Jets 2 through 20 minutes of play. Tonight's Flyers-Jets first period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well. And by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. Intermission Live, straight ahead, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. John Borick and Brian Boucher will analyze first period action between the Jets and Flyers. Tied at 2. System. And by McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. One period down. Quite a bit of scoring. A 2-2 hockey game after 20 minutes of play. Here are the other numbers brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson.
Yeah, it was a pretty good first period for both teams, and leading the hit parade for the Flyers with 4 hits each, R.J. Umberger and Chris Vandevelde, who scored one in the first period for the Flyers. He continues to be hot. Got the game started. Then Matthew Perreault, who is even hotter, as hot as anybody in the league right now, tied it. Wayne Simmons put the Flyers ahead, doing what he does best, scoring on the power play, and then Perreault again on the Jets' power play.
GMC NHL update takes you to Long Island, the Bruins and Islanders. Having at it, it's been a Bruins night so far. Riley Smith with that nice redirection, making it 1-0, and Patrice Bergeron with that one. 2-0 Boston as they get set to start the second period at Nassau Coliseum. The Bruins are at this particular time the last team in a playoff position in the East. They're 10 points ahead of the Flyers as play started tonight. Flyers, a long road back leading to playoff contention. Understand they have to put a streak together. They've won 2 in a row. They're trying to tie their season high with a 3rd straight victory here tonight. We get the second period underway. Andrew Ladd moving to the middle of the ice. Ryan Little and across the line off to Wheeler. Wheeler in front, redirected wide by Bogosian, but there will be a penalty. Bogosian got clipped or slashed, and so the Jets will get an early power play here in the second period.
It's going to be a slashing call here on Sean Couturier. Coming down the ice here on the, we're going to look at the replay. See Winnipeg heading to the front of the net right there. That's what deprived the Winnipeg player of getting that shot off. It ended up being Bogosian, I believe. Right on the hand, and that sends him to the box for 2 minutes here. Big kill coming up for the Flyers.
Looked like it stung Bogosian right in the fingers.
Had 2 power plays in this game, and both led to goals. Bufflin across. In front, that one off the stick of Evander Kane and wide. Perreault sends it right back out in front. Flyers intercept, but do not clear. Bellemare couldn't get it out of the zone. Now he tries again, thwarted, and it bounces down low to Frolik. Frolik twisting and turning, and then shuffling it along as the Jets will get set back up. Here's Bufflin down low. Now he'll shift back out to the point on the power play. Throws pass for Kane. Evander Kane cross ice to no one in particular. That'll go all the way down the ice.
The Flyers tried to clear 3 to 4 times and were unable to. Got a little help from Kane there.
Kane was much more effective. Unintentionally so. Here's Perreault. Gains the line and drops to Frolik. His pass knocked down by Giroux, who then clears. He was trying to send Reed out, but ends up going all the way down the ice. Now Hutchinson will steer it to the corner. There's Bufflin. To Scheifele. Flyers. Penalty kill, of course, has been an issue. They came into the game having killed 7 of their last 7, but gave up the goal to the Winnipeg power play in the first. Angle shot there well high and wide and all the way out to the neutral zone. So twice now the Jets have, in effect, cleared the zone by themselves. Jacob Trouba picks it up, roars into the Philadelphia zone. Wings wide all the way around behind the net. Tried to move it up the boards, but it's tipped away and then cleared out to the neutral zone by Bellemare. Now to 28 seconds on the man advantage. Enstrom moves it ahead. Little carries in, tried to center, goes off the stick to the corner. Now high in the air. Reed jabbing it into the slot. Bellemare is there, and he'll bank it all the way down. Good penalty kill thus far for the Flyers. Jets can begin one more rush with the man advantage. Enstrom letting Wheeler, the former Bruin, in across the line. Slams on the brakes, dropped it back. It came out of the zone. Back in offside goes Enstrom.
Well, a reminder that Penn State takes on the University of Vermont in the 3rd annual Philadelphia College Hockey Face-Off. That's going to happen this Saturday at 1 p.m. right here at the Wells Fargo Center. Great seats still available at ComcastTix.com. Come and see college hockey. Grab a quick dinner. Come on back to see the Flyers take on Toronto Maple Leafs.
Can't go wrong with a hockey doubleheader. College hockey is a lot of fun to watch. The talent level you're going to see in the second half of that doubleheader, but there's plenty of intensity and the atmosphere is usually outstanding.
Not that there are any Penn State fans locally.
None, of course. Flyers with the puck here. Here's a pass to Simmons. Wayne Simmons has a step in on goal. Shot! Save Hutchinson. Ryan White keeps the puck alive. Got it back toward the point, but it's tipped past Goliakovo, and now Kane speeding up the right wing. His shot. Save Mason. Rebound. Jab wide in the net. Sent back out in front of shot. And that went off a skate in front as Thorburn could not get it through. Shen, the right wing feeds for Simmons. Stood up there by Stewart, but White carries on. Ryan White the shot. Save. Rebound. Straka digging away. Hutchinson says no. Bonds his free shot. They score. Nick Schultz at long last lights the lamp. And it's 3-2 Philadelphia. Nick Schultz had not scored in 125 NHL games going back to February of 2012, but he scores for a case of tasty cake and puts the Flyers back on top.
Boy, the Flyers just keep coming. Wayne Simmons with this opportunity, and he dinged it right off the mask of Hutchinson. He wasn't deterred. He was part of this rush getting back up ice. But then Peter Straka, Ryan White took over in close. Both of them just called up from the Phantoms, digging away before Nick Schultz finished it.
Yeah, they were more occupied, taking away Straka in front. They didn't look for the puck. Nick Schultz saw it coming back right from behind. Great shot upstairs.
Sure, we all saw a goal with Nick Schultz, Ryan White, and Peter Straka teaming up in the game here tonight, right?
Had it.
Yeah.
What are the odds on that, Chris Terry? There's a shot by Frolik that's deflected out of play by Mason.
Billy said, had him all the way, guys.
Nick Schultz, February the 26th of 2012.
Well, good for Nick Schultz. Circling like a little white shark as opposed to a great white shark, because he doesn't score very often. But this is meaningful not only for Nick Schultz, but that line centered by Ryan White with Peter Straka on one side, Wayne Simmons on the other. They were on the ice for Winnipeg's first goal. And Peter Straka had a chance to clear the zone with a flip shot, and he failed to. So for him to be part of this goal means even more to him.
Yeah, all kinds of firsts on one goal, right? Schultz first as a Flyer, and Straka and Smith first points as Flyers. And Flyers with their third lead of the game. Flyers got the first goal in Winnipeg, and then the Jets scored the next three, so the Flyers were on the comeback trail for much of that game. Made it all the way back. They're playing from in front in this game. They've been having trouble hanging on to lead, and see if they can do a better job of it this time. Schultz stares up, centers it in front, bounces free. Belmar's shot, hit a body in front. Oh, Cavallier's shot, and that's denied by Hutchinson. Cavalier around behind it, bounces out in front again. And this line buzzing, but finally the Jets get to it, and Perreault will turn back with it.
Good offensive things are suddenly happening when Nick Schultz is on the ice.
He's feeling it now, as the Flyers will move the puck out to the neutral zone. Bogosian for Enstrom. He missed the game last month as Enstrom, Bogosian, and Trouba were all out for that game. Out to the neutral zone, and Flyers at. And move up with it. In across the line, R.J. Umberger. Carries in, but he's stopped. Stick goes flying. Koliakovo will roll it down low. Get it back to Umberger. Umberger looking for Reed. Back to Koliakovo, wrist shot. That gets caught up in traffic. Reed kept it alive again. Back to McDonald. But he then lost the puck. Look out. Oh, but then Slater fanned on the pass. Actually, his stick broke. He could have gotten that one ahead, but Caruso ended up surrounded by Flyers by the time the puck got to him. Donald's long outlet here tipped. Couturier is checked. Ladd is onside. Tips to Wheeler. Blake Wheeler surging in. Turning back with it. Pass to Little. And then Wheeler shot. Save Mason. Takes a little bump after the whistle from Ladd, but was able to freeze the puck. Stay tuned for the latest news on Sunday's little game. The Seahawks and Patriots showdown. Special Sports Night Central in Arizona coming up tonight at 11 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. All kinds of talent to be talked about. Former NFL players Troy Brown and Brian Mitchell will be involved as they will help analyze this one. They'll break down specific players. Brady, Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, Revis, Sean Lynch, Garrett Blunt. Yes, we'll have it completely covered. The Super Bowl coming up. Coverage from Arizona, Sportsnet Central Special. There's a big game coming up on Sunday.
You did say Marshawn Lynch.
Here is Giroux in! He's denied by Hutchinson. Now they'll move it ahead. Blake Wheeler. Chris, we have to talk about him because he won't talk about himself.
Right.
Here's Sherrod moving in. Pass to the quarter for Brian Little. Little weaving his way all the way out to the line and then banking it down low. Ladd couldn't come up with it. Wheeler then centering it over the head a little as it was deflected, and the Flyers will move up. They have numbers if they hurry. Voracek roaring up the left wing. Voracek is past to Giroux. Giroux the shot. Save Hutchinson again. Giroux with a couple of great chances here, but unable to finish them off. Flyers trying to, for the first time, get a multiple goal lead in this game. Bufflin involved in center ice play is stopped now, and a shot at Ryan White from Byfuglien. Over comes Nick Schultz. Dustin Byfuglien, the eye of the storm. He tends to like it that way. We'll be back. When the Flyers and Jets play, it's a reunion of sorts. Jake Voracek, Andre Pavlik, the backup goaltender for the Jets, is on your left, and on the right, Michael Frolik. These guys are, as Jake told me today, best buds. Why? They've played hockey since they can remember on the same team. The arrow there to Andre Pavlik, the goaltender. And your next arrow takes you up to Michael Frolik. The circled player is Jake Voracek. Yuri Tulustu is also in the NHL. All on this 7th grade team from Kladno in the Czech Republic. They played every year on the same team. Jake told me they won every year.
You think?
And they are absolutely as tight as can be. In fact, they met Jake's place last night, had dinner. Jake's mom cooked for them. Jake told me he did not have any of her pasta, even though he wants to, but try to stay off that. But amazing stuff. They're really close. And of course, earlier this year, Jake Voracek beating Pavlik with an overtime game winner that I'm sure he reminds him about once or twice.
And the significance of not eating the pasta is one of the secrets to Jake Voracek losing 10 pounds before he came to camp this year and being a lighter player.
Yes,
and it's gone pretty well.
Pasta. He loves their pasta.
Yeah, it's gone pretty well.
Straka, good steal behind the net, and he tries to get it out in front, but it's blocked aside. Kladno, by the way, we looked it up. Population around 70,000. And on one 7th grade team, they had 4 future NHLers. That's amazing. And there are several other Kladno natives in the NHL. Buchanan's one that comes to mind. There have been some others in the past. Michael Pavanka. Of course, the most famous Kladno product, Jaromir Jagr. So that's quite a story. That's quite a hockey factory for a relatively small community. Here is Luke Schenn. Puck tipped away and then kept in by the Jets. 3-2, Flyers with the lead, approaching the 8-minute mark of this second period. Lecavalier ahead. He's got Vandevelde. Vandevelde in across the line and had it poked away just as he was about to make it. Back after it though, and he finds Lecavalier, who turns it, fire, save, Hutchinson. Belmar was cruising right through the slot. Seems like this line gets a scoring chance every shift. Jumped in by the Jets. Luke Schenn ahead. Now Lecavalier will just sweep it deep into the Winnipeg zone. Flyers with a big advantage in shots this period. Moving it out, here's Jim Slater. Angle drive. Back down by Mason at the side of the net. Behind the net, Halischuk, former Devil prospect, gets it to Anthony Peluso. Peluso trying to get away from Voracek. Flyers have a matchup they like right now, but they can't get the puck. Here's Peluso. Chased by Schultz. Peluso, game of keep away here. He's happy just to keep the puck in the Philadelphia zone, and now penalty coming up. Penalty called here. As both referees had their arms up.
One's on Voracek for sure, Jimmy. I don't know if there's another one, but too many. Is there too many men on the ice call too?
No, the only thing they're calling is the minor to Jake Voracek in front. He turned around and he got a straight left up in the face of Matt Halischuk. And that's all the ref saw, and that's all he's calling. But Halischuk was hounding Voracek from behind. That burr under the saddle cost Jake 2 minutes.
Yeah. Halischuk just hanging in there in the battle in front. And Jake just a little frustrated taking that penalty.
Paul Maurice saying I had my 4th line out against one of the most productive lines in hockey, and the Jets end up with a power play. That is a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim.
And the Jets will again try to tie this game as they get their 3rd man advantage of the game. And they gain control. Here's Ladd. Pass out in front, a shot, and the save. Mason Luke Schenn couldn't find the puck. They get a couple more cracks at it, and Mason kept it out of there somehow, some way. Back out Byfuglien, cross ice, holding, firing the shot. Perreault goes wide this time and all the way out to center and down the ice.
Matthew Perreault got a little too hungry on that play. Fired it wide, and now his team has to regroup.
Byfuglien almost all the way in. He gets to the puck again. Gets to Perreault, right back to Byfuglien in the corner. And now out to the point. Wheeler takes it off the wall, gets it back to Perreault, and again to Byfuglien. Carries it into the corner, turns with it. And brings it along behind the net. Wheeler back out it goes. Little takes it back. Little toward the slot on the back end. Lays it off for Wheeler back in front. Tipped by Belmar, and he's able to clear. Myers trying to get some fresh legs on the ice as the power play hits its midpoint. So does regulation time in 3 seconds. Perreault. Flings one in. Delzato back. Lost his edge, went down, got the puck to Van de Velde. Van de Velde tied up by Kane. They get it back to the point. Enstrom, diminutive defenseman, moves the puck to Trouba. Sent it through the slot all the way out to Scheifele. Scheifele checked by Reed. The puck pops in the air. Kane topples to the ice. By the whistle. A hand pass spotted in there. So a hand pass was called.
Flyers will take the whistle, catch their breath here. But Steve Mason, the answer against this Winnipeg Jets power play. Blake Wheeler parked in front. He saw a couple of pucks come his way. A couple of other shots I don't think he saw at all. But he was in the right place when he had to be, right there.
Oh, wow. That's unbelievable. A puck bouncing up like that could go anywhere.
Especially as he's falling back. Somehow it stayed out. And the Flyers steal the puck here, clear it all the way down. Just 20 seconds remain on the Voracek minor.
Michael Delzato with the clear. And the coaching staff just more and more confidence in Delzato in all situations now.
Well, led the Flyers in ice time in the first period. Enstrom is back. Voracek leaves the box right now. So the Flyers back to full strength. They remain on top 3-2. Mason. Whoa, he plays right out in front of an empty net, and Giroux is there. Schenn and now Voracek. Voracek back across ice. Delzato in front. Giroux redirected it wide. Big collision between Ian Frolik. Everybody's okay. And Scheifele the other way. And he'll just scoop that one in the air and out of play. 8:44 remaining. Quickly paced second period.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. And it's Brayden Schenn playing up on that top line. What a great hit down low. See the Winnipeg player Brian Little coming around the back of the net. Brayden Schenn with a great hit. That'll wake you up really quick. Brayden Schenn gets tonight's Wells Fargo great check of the game.
Brian Little on that line of Little, Wheeler, and Ladd, the law firm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the nursery rhyme. Little, Wheeler, and Ladd.
Little Lads Wheeler.
Sounds like a law firm, but that was good.
Yeah, Brian Little is secretly one of the better two-way players in the NHL. He really gets the job done, and he's having a good year with the 18 goals. But again, you talk about players who are used in all situations. That's Brian Little. He is one of those 11 of them still left, moved with his team from Atlanta. So think about that. They've been here a while now. Their fourth season in Winnipeg, not having made the playoffs in any of their first three, and they still have 11 players left. So it shows a lot of patience in the organization, and this year they're hoping they can finally get to the playoffs and pick up their first win in a playoff game in franchise history. There's a shot by Lowry off a loose puck. And Mason alert to make the save and hang on.
Let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play of the game. You're going to see this play right in front of the net. It is a terrific play by Straka. And Nick Schultz coming in, recognizing the puck's loose, having enough courage to come down there and maybe gamble a little bit. He gets a goal, pays off for the Flyers, makes it a 3-2 game. That is the Independence Blue Cross fearless play, Nick Schultz.
Refs are conferring on the far side of the ice. Did somebody get nicked?
Maybe one of the refs or the linesman. I didn't see anybody over here.
Yeah, it's just, I shouldn't say Ian Walsh, who's wincing some.
Wincing a little bit down here, yeah.
But he's a hockey ref.
Yes.
Staying right in there. Philadelphia's own. Myers moves the puck up. There's Umberger taken down. Penalty. Enstrom will go to the box, and the Flyers will get their second power play of the game.
I'm not sure if you come in as a visiting team here into Philadelphia that you want to mess with the Flyers power play lately. Good job by R.J. Umberger. He just kept working to try to get by, put his arm out as well. But R.J. is such a much bigger man than Toby Enstrom. Enstrom gets it done with smarts and finesse. He's just a tiny defenseman by NHL standards.
Flyers red hot power play right back. Back to work, I should say. First time in this period. Voracek to strike. Now Claude Giroux, NHL leader in power play points. To Voracek, looking for Simmons. It was deflected away. Giroux has it back to Streit. Gives to Giroux, right back. Streit for the shot this block. Could not get it past Frolik, who now looks to play it to himself in center. And he did finally get to it, but Voracek, his buddy, was back to take the puck away. And now Voracek speeding out towards center ice around Wheeler. With the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Flyers going ahead of the puck, so Simmons will wait and then fire it into his bench. Everybody okay over there?
Ian LaPierre here, almost getting that one. He had a nice duck. And then someone holding the towel is Lappy. It's like, I've been hitting the head before, guys.
Yes, indeed.
I can assure you I have.
But that was when he was getting paid to block
Yeah,
us.
right. Very good point.
Yeah.
119 remaining on this power play.
And people don't understand how many times guys and coaches have been hurt on the bench. You just, you know, you stop paying attention for a second. Your reflexes have to be as sharp there as they do on the ice.
Couturier now will get to Lecavalier. The second unit's out for the Flyers with this bad advantage. All the way across, it goes to Reed. Reed, turn, get it back to Delzato, and now it's Lecavalier. Lecavalier pass is tipped. Couturier has his pass knocked down. Lecavalier tried to recover it, but the Jets are there, and Kane clears it all the way down.
It's an outstanding job of penalty killing by the Jets. They pressured, but they didn't pressure one at a time. They pressured as a group wherever the puck was.
Pass to the right side. Lecavalier checked, but it bounces to Delzato. Across. Humberger winds and blast. Didn't get all that one. Lecavalier fires in the save made by Hutchinson. He wanted a penalty as Couturier was trying to tie him up. Now here's Ladd moving up for a shot. That one takes off and finds Les. All the way out to Couturier. 2-on-1 with Lecavalier. Although it's now 2-on-2. Couturier did not have any momentum as he got to that puck, and the Jets were able to get back. He finds Delzato, who winds and blasts. Save Hutchinson. Rebound Lecavalier. And another save by Hutchinson, and he'll hang on. Hutchinson getting busier here in this second period. He's made some stops to keep his team within one.
Michael Hutchinson's a pretty darn good story, especially with his record. Second best save percentage in the NHL, and last year, we're talking last year, spent 28 games in the ECHL, AA hockey, 24 games in the AHL, and only 3 games in the NHL, and then just kind of exploded onto the Winnipeg scene this season with a great record and an unbelievable save percentage.
Talking to Shane Knighty here, guys, my counterpart, standing next to me in the box here, and he said this guy's the real deal. Interesting story for sure.
Out of the box is Enstrom, so the Jets back to full strength. This remains a 3-2 game. Less than 6 minutes to play in the second. White, Ryan White ahead. Elmar checked at the Winnipeg line. Zach Bogosian will circle back and then rifle the cross ice pass to Perreault. He finds Scheifele. Right wing feed knocked down by Bellemare. Bellemare has a real knack for getting in those passing lanes, getting a stick on the puck. Scheifele. Perreault got it as far as Luke Schenn. Right back to the Flyers and across the line. Great Schenn for a shot. And the save made by Hutchinson. He'll squeeze it. The Flyers by 1 here in the second.
Well, let's have a look at our Geico quote of the hockey game. And you know what? There's the man that issued the Geico quote of the game. It's Ron Hextall talking about the process of getting Kimmo Timonen back in here, guys, and whether or not it's going to be a viable option. You can see he's talking about the different roads and different doctors. You have to see a lot of things, go through a lot of protocol, still on medication. So, again, whatever is being told right now and is not exactly updated info. We'll get more as time goes. But you see what you're missing in a guy like Kimmo Timonen. You know, 35 points, and I think that in 77 games last year, but I think what he does, getting the puck out of the zone, calming the presence down defensively, that's what his real value is for me. And it's certainly nice to get him back if we can for a home stretch run.
Jets move the puck to center ice. Here's Kane firing it wide of Mason. Coburn trying to set it, but it's blocked away. Snyder came back after it. The Flyers to the puck, and Voracek. Cross ice, Poliakovo. Giroux will just redirect that pass deep into the Winnipeg zone. It was a bit of a storm before the game regarding Kimmo Timonen, as Craig Berube had made some comments about looking forward to having him back on Hextall after the quotes that you just read. Met with the media again and assured everybody that there's nothing definite yet on Kimmo Timonen. They're hoping to have him back, but it's a lot of things to work through when you're talking about a situation as serious as Kimmo Timonen. So
yeah, it's not a broken leg, or you come back. It's a serious thing, and you got to make sure that the fit is right.
Enstrom will get this puck ahead to Little, and now Ladd is pass tipped by Couturier and gathered by Mason.
Well, want to let everyone know that the Bud Light Tuesday night pack includes not a fight, but a ticket, a Dietz and Watson hot dog, and a 24-ounce beverage, and is starting at just $55. You can visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com for available Tuesday games.
Can't guarantee a fight, but there might be one.
I wonder what night of the week features the most fights. Somebody has that stat. I don't.
Sure, our friends at Elias have.
It's a day that ends in Y.
I'll bet you it's a Thursday. I don't know why I say that.
Players particularly feisty on a Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's absolutely not a Sunday or Monday. It can't be.
Look out here, turnover by the Flyers, but the pass broken up by Streit as Little could not make that one through. Couturier knocking Wheeler down and getting the puck. Couturier ahead for Umberger. RJ double team, but picking up the puck is Reed. A 3-on-1 for the Flyers. Reed with a puck. Reed to Streit to Reed. Save Hutchinson. Spectacular stop by the young goaltender, and Reed remains snake bitten.
I'm buying into what Chris said. He was told by Shane Knighty down there that Hutchinson's for real. Wow.
Took anticipation and his athletic ability. Bufflin moves the puck to Slater. The goaltender keeping them within one. Now they'll try to tie it up. Puck by the center. That deflects all the way across. Now Delzato to the puck. 5 of the 6 odd-man rushes in this game belong to the Flyers. Against a team that doesn't usually give that many up. Good defensive club. The Jets, guys have had their chances. Not been able to get any breathing room in this game.
That one's got to go in the back of the net. Too good of a chance. Tight game like this. And it's good effort by Hutchinson. Still got to go up under the bar.
There's Bufflin. Back into the neutral zone. His pass intercepted by Ryan White. And the Jets have it back. Sherratt looking for Bufflin. Hudson peels up. Luke Schenn turns it over to Perreault. Perreault is quickly checked by Ryan White. Now Delzato. Something along the boards hoping for Simmons. Sherratt in on him. Simmons trying to go around the other side. Winds up in front. Backhander. Perreault is stopped by Mason. Matthew Perreault looking for the hat trick. Mason had other ideas.
Well, the Flyers have had enough odd-man rushes to put multiple pucks behind Hutchinson. This is the last one. A 3-on-1, and Matt Reed simply stoned. And then Steve Mason showing his positioning off. That's all he could do. It wasn't much of a shot, but he had to be perfectly positioned, and he was.
Really was quick developing play. Flyers 7 more chances than the Jets. Jets beginning to push here, though. Giroux is stripped of the puck. There's a centering pass tipped, and a backhander by Lowry, stopped by Mason. Koliakovo tips the puck, but the Jets get it back. Here's Enstrom. Rister smothered by Belmar, who will then backhand it out. It gets over Vander Kane, and here is Van de Velde with a shot, and it's deflected off glass. Giroux back to Van de Velde. Popping it off for Belmar. Angles it through the blue paint all the way out to the other point. McDonald right back in. And 22 seconds remaining in this second period. McDonald sends it in. Bogosian knocks it down. Now the stretch pass. It's tipped by Evander Kane. Hits Stanchions. Sits in the corner, so Lowry will play it to Wheeler and then out to Bufflin. How low it goes. Wheeler for Ladd. Fans on his first attempt. Gets the puck back. Sherratt fires. That blocked aside in front. Reed overtaken by Little, and then it's fired off the side of the net. 52 seconds to the period. Ladd sends it in front. Ricochets around. Jets hungry for the puck. So are the Flyers, and it's Streit clearing the zone. But again, the Jets have it right back. And here's Ladd. shoveling. Gloved and knocked down by Belmar. Got it out to center. The Ladd right back in. Looks for the return feed and gets it for the shot. Save Mason. And he's able to corral the bouncing puck.
Boy, the Jets with a big push here to finish off the period. But the Flyers have generated the better scoring chances in this period, including Claude Giroux's had 3 glorious opportunities in this period alone. Found himself alone. Dinged him off the mask of Michael Hutchinson. And that was a deflection chance from a good pass by Michael Del Zotto. But yet to make it to the score sheet is the Flyers captain Claude Giroux.
Flyers with a 3-on-2 here. 27 seconds remaining in the period. The pass. Couturier will get it behind the net. Finds Umberger in front. Giroux was there, but it went on through. Del Zotto winds and fires. Deflected by a Jet. And now it's Frolik ahead. Scheifele blocked that shot. And they go offside with the Jets at the Philadelphia line. Another face-off. 12.2 seconds remaining on the second period clock.
Well, there were reports that Matthew Perreault had broken his arm when Dan Carcillo cross-checked him. Turned out he only missed a couple of games. It got Carcillo suspended for 6.
Didn't miss a beat, though. He was hot before he got cross-checked, and he obviously is remaining hot with 2 goals here in the game tonight. 17 on the season. Flyers move up, running out of time, though. Voracek to the line, fires one. An off-shin stick that was blocked, and that will do it for the second period. So the Flyers get the only goal of period number 2. Mason took care of things at the other end. 3-2 Flyers through 2. Tonight's Flyers-Jets second period was brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson, exclusive orthopedic and health care provider of the Philadelphia Flyers. By your local Chevy dealers. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Downstairs we go. Chris Terry is set to chat with a goal scorer here in period number 2, Nick Schultz.
Nick, you get yourself an opportunity to get in there on the offense. Tell us what happened on that goal.
Yeah, just saw a chance to get down there. Obviously, there's a rebound. Just fortunate it popped out to me, and it feels nice to get one.
You had a very physical game. The team, a lot of energy in the game in Winnipeg. Do you feel like tonight's more of a carry-on, a carry-over of that game before Christmas?
Yeah, I think that's how Winnipeg plays. They got some big bodies. They play fast. They get pucks up, and they want to bang you and kind of wear you down. So we got to respond to that and try to outwork them.
Nick, thanks very much. Good luck with it.
For sure. Thank you.
His first goal in 126 games, and it is the difference in the hockey game. The Mission Live, brought to you by Delaware Valley Honda Dealers, is next. John Borek and Brian Boucher after these messages. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, who has given all your favorite numbers games new, simpler names. Easy to play, simple to say. Must be 18 years or older to play. 3-2 Flyers. Started the third period coming up. GMC NHL update. Marty Brodeur with a big announcement earlier today.
This is a great day for me. I'm excited to start a new chapter in my hockey career. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time, and this is a great opportunity that the St. Louis Blues organization, Todd Stillman and Doug Armstrong, that are giving me and trusting me into doing. In the same token, this is going to be something that is going to be as close as a hockey player. I'll be able to be involved with the hockey operation and then being close with the guys and the coaches and the managers. So this is going to be a great challenge for me. The thing about hockey for me, it's I'm really competitive, but I love to have fun. And I'm leaving the game with a big smile on my face. And I don't think if I would have done that last year, it would have been the case.
Marty Brodeur into the front office of the St. Louis Blues, and admittedly I'm biased because
Doesn't
I had the pleasure of calling Marty Brodeur's games as he entered the professional ranks. His one minor league season. I think we've just seen the best goaltender in NHL history say goodbye to the game as a player.
Agreed, 100%.
And he is a guy that'll be interesting to see how he takes to front office life as he gets a little bit of it with St. Louis there. Those out there who still think he'll end up with the Devils organization at some point in time.
How could he not?
Underway here in the third period. Andrew Ladd gets it out in front. Little was there, and now it's tipped wide by Ladd as the Jets push earlier to try to tie this game up at 3. Couturier to the puck for Philadelphia, and now Nick Schultz. For Reed. His outlet handled nicely by Umberger. He tried to throw it across ice for Couturier, but it was knocked down. Well, Enstrom has it back for Winnipeg. Now Andrew Ladd, the captain. Last one in. Set that one up for Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn gets to his brother Braden. Pass is tipped. Just across ice. Perreault over after it bounces off a forecheck into the Philadelphia bench. Look at the numbers from this game through 2 periods. Brought to you by Rockman Institute at Jefferson.
Flyers are really cleaning up on the faceoffs. 4 players have taken draws for the Flyers. They're all over 50%. That includes Sean Couturier, who won 9 of 14 through 2 periods. But the Jets, true to form, are out hitting the Flyers. We knew they were fast. We knew they were physical. They've got size to go with that. And the Jets are a +8 in the hitting department over the Flyers through 2 periods.
Matthew Perreault has the 2 Jets goals in this game. Line out on the ice. Flyers win the draw. Del Zotto across. Second try, got that puck into the zone. Hutchinson, who's made some big saves to keep his team within 1. That puck away, and now Sherratt to Perreault. Goes back by Giroux, but moves the puck ahead, and Frolik. Check there. Now moving on in is Perreault. Perreault stops, lost the puck. It bounced back to Frolik for a shot that's blocked. Frolik will then get it to the point. Sherratt fires one. That deflection goes off glass, then catches the safety netting, leading to the whistle, stopping play. But early on, the Jets have had some opportunities.
Tell you what, that's a really dangerous play. Perreault, too, guys, as hot as he's been. You think he would have come down and shot that puck. He looked like he tried to give it a toe drag. And nothing to it. Mason was whatever save, so.
Well, they can get a little fancy at times. We even saw him on the power play in the second period, miss the net. As a result, the puck went all the way down the ice. I mean, when he snipes and he's on, he can light it up, which he's been doing. But at times, he's got a reputation for trying to make low percentage plays.
Well, that was one there, Bill.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you got a chance, you're down a goal, and walking in alone, he tried a toe drag. You didn't need to make a toe drag.
Flyers clear the zone here, but all the way down it goes, so it'll be icing. And the face-off back near Steve Mason. He stopped 24 of 26 Winnipeg shots. The Flyers in the comeback in Winnipeg really took it to the Jets in the third period. Jets seem to be sitting back. Well, the Flyers, the team with the lead as this third period gets underway, and you can't sit back against this club.
No, you can't. And the Flyers, we'll see what they do in the shot totals. Flyers have 1 so far in this period, but the Flyers have been shooting the puck more recently. The last 5 games, they've averaged 35 a game, and if they can hit that target and that number, that'll mean they're still coming at the Jets.
There's going to be 2 penalties here. Wayne Simmons will go for holding the stick. Evander Kane's going to go for hooking. And Wayne Simmons does not like the call on him one little bit.
Well, Simmons is moving in. To me, this looked like it was all Evander Kane. You'll see the replay here, guys. It comes in on Simmons, and the stick goes up. Maybe Simmons pulled it up a little bit, but I thought from where I was looking, it looked like Kane was the initiator. Simmons not happy at all here, though.
No, but the ref, I think, made a pretty decent call there, and I don't know if he was in perfect position to do it, but it looked like Simmons grabbed onto Kane's stick. At first, I thought it might be embellishment against Wayne Simmons, but it turned out to be the stick hold.
And so we get some 4-on-4 hockey. And then the Jets have scored 7 goals this year in 4-on-4 situations. Be very careful. One of the main reasons for that, I think, is Dustin Byfuglien, who almost is like a rover out there. Here's Little. Hitting the puck to Trouba. Trouba moving on in. Trouba all the way around. Tries to wrap it around, but ran out of real estate. Back behind the net. 2 Jets on Luke Schenn, and Luke Schenn does good work there to get it to Couturier. Cross ice for Reed. Reed in across the line. Drops it back for Couturier. Gets away from Byfuglien. Couturier, the shot save. Rebound was there, but taken back by Little. His pass tipped, though, and the Flyers have it again. Couturier. Couturier looking off the bench. It's Streit to take the pass. Streit turns with it. Fans on his shot or pass. Reed tangled up with Little. And now Trouba will take over. 1:06 remaining in the concurrent minors. Trouba. Start up. Now the pass ahead. Fired in by Little. Easy save. Mason keeps it in play to Schultz. Right, leading the Flyers to settle. They have Giroux and Voracek out there now, but Giroux's pass for Voracek tipped away. Enstrom has it back. That pass for Frolik tipped back and finds Giroux. 2-on-4 here for the Flyers, and Frolik strips Giroux of the puck. And it's Blake Wheeler the other way. Wheeler got off a shot. Glove save by Mason. He'll squeeze it. Now here's the answer to tonight's Jeep Trivia question of the game. The only opponent this Jets franchise ever faced in the playoffs. They were the Thrashers then. The Rangers back in 2007. They were swept, as Chris mentioned earlier, and there are the longest current playoff droughts. The Oilers, pity the Oilers, 8 in a row, but the Jets Thrashers next 7 straight years without a playoff berth. They are in playoff position right now as we speak, but it is so competitive in the West. They must keep the foot on the gas pedal. Goshen pass here, tipped. There's Perreault as he's being knocked to the ice. A backhander was blocked. Sweeps ahead, and now LeCavalier will go across. Delzato back across ice for LeCavalier. And across the line. Waits. Turns with it. And Enstrom takes it away. LeCavalier back. Wrap him up. 8 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4. Matthew Perreault escapes with the puck. Perreault cutting to the middle and then off on the left wing for Scheifele. Back to Perreault. Looks to Bogosian. Bogosian backhander goes off of Mason. Perreault trying out the other side was stopped, but now left all alone. Shot goes high and wide. Couple Flyers both skated away from Perreault, and they live to tell about it. Now Simmons back the other way, muscling his way to the puck. The angle shot and a save by Hutchinson. Simmons after it again as it's back to 5 aside hockey. Simmons in the slot. Brayden Schenn scores! And the Flyers finally have their 2-goal lead as Brayden Schenn, a seed, scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Well, for the number of chances that Brayden Schenn has generated along with Claude Giroux in this game, they were bound to get something at some point, and Brayden Schenn just launched a BB to the top corner that Hutchinson had no chance at.
This is all Wayne Simmons, guys. This is a hustle play. Simmons out-muscles Tobias Enstrom coming down, and then he gets around the net, makes a great pass out to Brayden Schenn, who fires one through a mild screen, I guess, through Hutchinson, but what a shift by Simmons. That is just terrific.
We'll get the only assist on Brayden Schenn's 11th of the year. Only the second goal in the last 23 for Brayden Schenn, but one of those streaky goal scorers. He can get hot. Perhaps he's about to. And Kane fires one wide. Hustling over Byfuglien to keep it in. Big collision. Both Brayden Schenn and Byfuglien hit the deck. Brayden Schenn might have been hurt, though.
Yeah.
There's a shot save. Mason rebound in front. And the Flyers get the puck to Voracek. Brayden Schenn hunched over, heading to the Philadelphia bench. Voracek moving up. Sherratt holds him. Got away with it. And Byfuglien has the puck for Winnipeg. Cross ice it comes. Sherratt all the way around behind the net. And sends it out in front. Finds his way back to Wheeler. Wheeler checked Couturier and will move up with a 2-on-1. Reed and Couturier. Reed with the puck. Reed to Couturier. Can't finish. Now Umberger in front, and it's Hutchinson diving on top of the puck.
Everything but money. And for Brayden Schenn, running into Dustin Byfuglien turned out not to be a mistake. It just turned out to be a bloody nose.
Yeah, that's a brave play by Brayden Schenn. I mean, you're going up against a guy like Byfuglien like that after you just scored a goal. He's getting tended to here next to me, guys, with probably some blood coming out of his nose as he came off the ice. But kudos for the effort. It's a tough result, though. You're asking yourself for a tough result.
Schenn went at it hard,
He
too.
sure did.
Independence Blue Cross Fearless play. We'd already done it, but that certainly would have taken the cake, I think, is that whistle stopping play. And I think we have a penalty coming up here.
I think it's coming against the Flyers. Well, if you're up for a neat experience, grab your friends and take in a Flyers game from the privacy of your own suite. You can enjoy VIP amenities, including private bathroom and waiter, plus great catering options. For 12 to 24 people, it is a great time, guaranteed. 215-389-9500.
Vinny Lecavalier with a high stick here going back on Jacob Trouba. See, trying to lift the stick, he ends up getting underneath in the face somewhere. He's going to do 2 minutes here in the box.
That's potentially a big one. Flyers just getting the 2-goal lead, had some momentum, and now the Jets get a chance in the power play to get right back to within one. Bufflin surveying things out at the blue line as Evander Kane and Giroux will duel on the face-off. And Giroux wins another one. He wins so many draws, especially when the club's shorthanded. But the Flyers initially at least unable to clear, and they won't get it out of the zone. It'll be Scheifele. Unfortunately, cut off. Played up the boards, kept in by Bufflin. Back to Scheifele, and out for a leak. Around to the other side of the ice, Perreault. Leaned down by Bellemare. Now Perreault got hit up high. Not seen by any of the officials. Perreault slow getting up from the corner as the Flyers clear the zone. Now it's Perreault heading to the bench, reaching for his face. Rod doesn't appear to like Big Buff too much.
A lot of people caught that December game in Winnipeg.
Indeed. It's fired into the Philadelphia zone. McDonald will backhand it. Got it out to Couturier, who will turn and fire it all the way down. As the Jets go back, this power play hits the halfway point. Enstrom starts up. Swing feed for Wheeler. Wheeler chases with McDonald. Sato jabs at it. Comes free out of the reach of Enstrom and down the ice. Kobe Enstrom is back to get to it. Now the leader in seniority in this franchise in terms of games played. Pass to Blake Wheeler. Ahead, Ladd couldn't come up with it. Flyers do. Surging to it. There's Vanderbilt moving well, but then losing control. And now he'll just send it in along the boards. On the other side, Flyers after it. It was Ryan White, but instead Blake Wheeler. He's disrupted in the neutral zone. Luke Schenn has the puck, and he'll clear it all the way down. Good penalty killing by the Flyers. Down to just 6 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Winnipeg. Trouba ahead. Collision in center as Thorburn and Simmons came together, and out of the box jumps Lecavalier. Flyers kill, gets the job done. Remains 4-2. 7.5 minutes into the third period. Jacobo knocked down. Kane gets the puck. And then Lowry bending off Lecavalier. Behind the net. Kane moves to the corner with it. Evander Kane changing direction. His pass tipped. Chopped at, but still Jets able to control. Kane overskates this time, and Jacobo is there to White. Chop at it, but it hits a Jet. Moves back to the corner. Now it's Kane again. Worked down by McDonald. Puck in skates, bounces free. Chance Lecavalier, and he'll move it around to the other side of the ice to Jacobo, who banks it ahead, but right to Stewart. Quick shot, and the save made by Mason there off of Evander Kane, and now Peluso drops the gloves. Lecavalier is in there. Linesmen are in there as well as they try to maintain peace.
Peluso squashed Vinny Lecavalier against the boards in the corner, and Vinny did not like that even a little bit.
We'll see how the officials saw that one. And we'll tell you about it when we come back.
Well, time to take a look at our Pennsylvania Lottery pick of the game, and that is Wayne Simmons. Look at this night he's had, guys. 11th power play goal of the year. He's got an assist, 3 shots on goal, pair of hits, and he is stuck up for his teammates all night long here. He's had a great game skating, and it was really the huge assist on the last Braden Schenn goal.
Pennsylvania Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians Tuesday night. Wayne Simmons forcing that one home on the power play, and tonight bangs that one home. He has now scored 18 goals, which leads the Flyers. 13 of them will come here at the Wells Fargo Center.
And when Wayne Simmons heats up, he starts to bubble. And he has gotten hot at different stages as a Flyer and puts up big numbers in stretches.
Yeah, he's a streaky scorer for sure. And he puts up huge numbers. You're right, Billy.
Cavalier and Peluso, as you saw, both in the box.
Let's have a look at our Hyundai save of the game here. And it's going to be Steve Mason. Look at this flurry by Winnipeg in the second period. Blake Wheeler on the doorstep. Mason falls back. That puck actually hit him up high. There was so much rubber. And Mason staying strong right there. Puck comes out. That is the Hyundai save of the game.
So it's more 4-on-4 here, which, as we said earlier, that's very dangerous in this situation, especially with this guy on the ice, Bufflin. Bufflin around behind the net, chopped at by Schultz. Continues to control the puck all the way out to the other side of the ice, and now gives to Little. Little Ladd. Now Bufflin marked by Couturier. Couturier will stay with him, and then they drop it back to Ladd for a shot that's blocked. And Reed will find the puck. He's going to look backward. Get to Schultz, who has to deal with Little. They'll get it up the wall to Couturier, who pushes it ahead to Strike. With some room, straight across the line. Waits, and then gives to Reed, right back to Strike. Run at by Bufflin, got out of the way. In the nick of time, the puck to Giroux. Oh, Giroux. Back out to Delzato. Delzato checked as he moves that in along the wall. Minute remaining in the 4-on-4. Hutchinson really gave that away to Voracek, but Kane has it now. Evander Kane picking up speed through center. Kane one-hands it in on Mason. Mason handles that with ease, puts the big glove on top of it.
I had Braden Shen a few seconds ago, guys, look over and say, was that the right decision, taking that run at Bufflin? Said it was a hell of an effort by him.
I'll tell you what, Mark Streit just saw the Bufflin eclipse come his way, and Streit just jumped out of the way.
Yeah, he's an awfully big man. That's what Braden Shen had, that bleeding nose. He's all fixed up, no problem, but boy, he went at Bufflin hard.
You had said whether Shen wasn't quite sure whether he made the right decision. I can assure you that Mark Streit made the right decision.
You know, I mentioned earlier about Bufflin being a complete package. The only knock on him was weight management, and he didn't really apply himself and take care of himself, and he didn't work that hard on the ice. Paul Maurice has got that thing straightened around. He's a heck of a player right now.
He sure is, Billy. Skates well. He's got confidence.
Remember, he was playing forward at the start of the year, but with all the injuries, they moved him back, and their team really played some great hockey. Bufflin back there. So now with all the injured defensemen back, he's staying put. There's Luke Schenn, shot batted away by Hutchinson. Enstrom checked by Voracek, but he's able to move the puck ahead. Here's Matthew Perreault. It hops over his stick. 15 seconds remaining in the current minors. Voracek or Delzato. Racing through center ice. Delzato hands off to Giroux. Right back to Delzato. Spin it down low. Bufflin is there. The full-strength hockey back in effect right now. The Cavalier and Peluso out of the box. Rolik stopped at the Philadelphia line by McDonald. We've passed the midpoint of the third period. 4-2 Philadelphia. The Cavalier guides that into the Winnipeg zone. Trouba's back for it. Bumped there, but got some help. And Scheifele will start up his pass behind Halischuk. That's going to be icing against Winnipeg.
Well, the Flyers are going to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is Saturday at 7. Then they'll face off against the New York Islanders next Thursday. That's February the 5th, also 7 o'clock game time. You can reserve your tickets now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. And the Toronto Flyers matchup, they're always fun. I mentioned Tuesday night. I have no idea what to expect from the Leafs. They're kind of schizophrenic.
Yeah, they had one personality of late, though. It's been a losing one, but they are leading tonight against Arizona.
As I mentioned, they've been kind of schizophrenic.
When's the last time Toronto's had a 1-0 lead in the third period? I mean,
Voracek trying to get them to play better defensively. Here's Le Cavalier. He is checked by Trouba. And the Jets get control. Halischuk knocked down from behind by Vanderbilt. The puck, but it's kept in. Now Bufflin gets it to Bogosian, who fires it wide. Donald takes a hit. Jets keep coming with the physical play. And that puck was sent down the ice. Now Bufflin at the red line to Bogosian. And he'll flutter one deep to Philadelphia ice. 8.5 remaining in the third. Strike. Pass to middle Couturier, off to Reed. Reed, bodied by Bogosian, got it back. Finessed it into the corner. Couturier got the puck free. His centering pass, though, taken away by Little. Little to Wheeler. Wheeler forced back. Read there by Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz, we joked a little bit about the goal earlier on, but boy, what a story he's been for the Flyers this year. Expected to be the extra defenseman. He's become one of their best defensemen. Reed knocked down. He got hit 2 or 3 times there by Bogosian. Wanted to stick back. Couturier flutters one. It hit Reed in front. He could not get the loose puck to settle on his stick, though. And Wheeler clears the zone. Zotto back to get it. That's about shot the Flyers 7-4 here in the third. Puck goes off of Straka back toward the Philadelphia zone. Now Kane has it. Kane stripped by Ryan White. Straka picks up the puck. Quick pass to Simmons. Simmons holding on. Fired it wide. All the way back out it goes. White will backhand it into the corner. Simmons. Seal off check there, but Thorburn to the puck and he'll clear it. Zotto sweeps it back through center. It's tipped away. Gathered by Kane, and he'll float one. It's gloved by Mason, and he'll keep it in play to Delzato. Delzato turns it over behind the net. Lowry to the puck. Adam Lowry, big strong kid, got that puck to Thorburn. Thorburn worked on by Delzato, but tough one's there. His attempt goes off his stick and out of play. 6:48 remaining in the third.
And it's time to take a look at our Toyota turning point of the hockey game, and it is going to be Nick Schultz's goal. First one in 120-odd games. Upstairs, guys, that was a huge goal by the defensive-minded defenseman. And that gave the Flyers a 3-2 lead. When they now lead 4-2 on Brayden Schenn's third period tally, that was the Toyota turning point of this game.
Now the Flyers don't need Nick Schultz's offense. They need his D, and the Flyers have been good defensively in this game against a very fast Winnipeg team. The Jets are ranked 5th in the Western Conference coming into the game tonight. You've lost track of them. They're a really good team.
Up the draw, they hit the post. Frolik catching iron. They work that play well right off the face-off. Frolik gets it back to Perreault. Matthew Perreault down by Schultz. Back out. Kruger will roll it down out of the reach of Strike. Scheifele. Off to Frolik. He's checked by Giroux. Now that shot by Stewart knocked out in front. Scheifele still got a rebound shot out, but that was blocked by Mason. Now Strike will backhand, but not out of the zone. Stewart right there fired it toward the net. Now it's loose in the shot by Frolik. The save made by Mason. Anxious moments here as the Jets really press. Now Voracek finds Schenn. Brayden Schenn cut off right there by Stewart in center ice. Voracek, though, toward the puck. Great play by Stewart reaching back. Knocking away from it. Now Voracek flips Perreault, who made sure the referee saw it. And that's going to be a penalty behind the play. Jake won't be happy with himself here. Perreault all hunched over. And if he's cut, it could be 4 minutes. So we'll wait and see on this. It could be 4, not 2.
I don't know that anybody's checking Matthew Perreault right now.
Oh, it was an elbow. Not a high stick.
It was a mean elbow, too.
Boy, Jake has really been an angry human in this game. He took a penalty earlier for uppercutting Matt Halischuk right in front of the goal. And that time he elbowed Matthew Perreault in the schnoz. Wonder what's gotten into Jake.
Well, they had that fight before the break, remember? And he's feeling his hopes a little bit. But it is a 2-minute penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call.
It's a good thing it's just 2 minutes, because had it not, minute 4, it'd make the coach go great. Very quick.
So, big moment here as the Jets try to climb back to within 1 on the power play. Enstrom to Byfuglien, and they have it under control. Cross ice pass tipped away and stolen and cleared by Bellemare. Flyers have found themselves a penalty killer, Edward Bellemare. So that was being called a hit to the head. That's why it was an unsportsmanlike conduct, we're being told. And here's McDonald, not able to clear behind the net. Delzato, good work to keep one Jet away from the puck. Now he's got 2 Jets working on him. Get some help from McDonald. Vandeveldy in there. 3 Jets, 3 Flyers. It comes free and is cleared all the way down.
That was all Michael Delzato. He got help, but he got the job done until the troops arrived.
He's had a heck of a game.
Yeah, he has.
Here's Kane moving up. Snaps it around behind the net. Engstrom takes it back behind the cage. Now Scheifele in the second half of the power play. Kane shoved to the wall by Schenn. Got it to Scheifele and now out to Byfuglien. Back to Scheifele. Check. The puck bounces free. Save Mason off the slot shot. Now back Byfuglien across ice. Scheifele shot blocked in Couturier. Plenty of time to clear it all the way down.
What a great shot blocked by Luke Schenn. And Nick Schultz at the start of the PK had one as well.
27 seconds left in the power play. Trouba cutting in for the shot. Save Mason. Rebound shot. Save Mason again. Now it's Trouba after behind the net, and then Frolik with the Flyers are there. And again, good work by Del Zotto. And then it's cleared all the way down by Bellemare as he is dumped. He looks to the referee, but no call. 8 seconds remaining on the Winnipeg power play. Trouba with a pass to Wheeler. He'll backhand it in. Flyers back to full strength. Mason will play it to McDonald. Bounces high in the air. Rube bats at it. And now Bellemare and Voracek combine to get it out to the neutral zone. Jets get it right back. Trouba had to wait for Nate to get onside, and so Del Zotto able to gather, turn with it, and chip it out to center ice. The shots advantage built here in the third period by the Jets, 12-4. They have the 8-shot advantage for the game. McDonald play it around. Schenn will backhand that to the middle of the ice. Voracek handles it beautifully. Voracek in across the line. Voracek trying to center for Giroux, but taken back by Engstrom. He'll move it ahead to Thorburn. Thorburn surging in across the Philadelphia line, around behind the net. Thorburn's pass to Bogosian, tipped, and it will make its way to the neutral zone. Flyers now have killed off 11 of their last 12 power plays against. Trying to improve that all year long. And granted a small sample size, but one of their better stretches of the season. Reed moving up one-on-one, knocked down by Trouba. Element of his game, he'll play with a little edge. Only 20. Watt loses the puck here. Umberger centering. Reed shot! Save! Hutchinson again. Hutchinson an answer for Matt Reed. It remains a 2-goal game. Tonight's Flyers-Jets game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Well, the Flyers have this game exactly where they want it with 2:34 to go in the third and a 2-goal lead. And yes, they're giving way to a lot of Winnipeg shots, but for the most part, the Flyers are still intact defensively and playing well in that regard.
Down into the Philadelphia zone, Nick Schultz takes a look around. Empty net now for the Jets. Extra attacker on. Umberger moving up to the red line. Backhands. Missed it wide. Byfuglien is back. And they get to Wheeler. So Maurice, realizing his team down 2 goals, gets his goaltender out. The extra attacker on with more than 2 minutes remaining here in this third period. Reed. Flyers would love to get Matt Reed a goal. There's the puck. Goal by Perreault. Back out Byfuglien. Now it's Perreault. Back to Kane. A shot through heavy traffic. To save the rebound. Couturier emerges with the puck somehow. Looks as though he lost it. Fires it down the ice and scores. It'll work. Sean Couturier into the empty net. Gives the Flyers a 5-2 lead. Couturier, with his 11th of the year, scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
And a good decision by Sean Couturier. You can take the shot at the empty net with a 2-goal lead, but watch how Couturier came up with the puck here. He lost it? Oh, no, he didn't. I was just playing possum. And with a 2-goal lead, you got that much time and you're that good a shot, you might as well take it. And he did.
And the Flyers, now the minute 35 remaining, up by 3. And here is Maluso. So checking the puck back out to the neutral zone. Sherratt will send it back in. And McDonald, the right wing feed to Simmons. Now it bounces free into the Winnipeg zone. Comes back out. Maluso has it. The Flyers knew that if they could get to the third period with the lead in this game, they had to like their chances. The Flyers haven't led after 2 very often this year. When they have, they've been very good, 11-0-1. And the Jets, they haven't won a game when trailing after 2. So things look good for the Flyers here at the start of the third.
Let's check out our Mazda Top Shelf performers in this one. For the Jets, Matthew Perreault has both of their goals. But for the Flyers, Wayne Simmons, Mr. Everything again, and Michael Del Zotto. 5-game point streak now, a career high. Good for Michael Del Zotto. And Steve Mason has been all over this game in net for the Flyers.
That puck goes out of play, so another face-off. A lot of times a guy, or I shouldn't say a lot, but there are times when a player puts together a point streak and he's just getting secondary assists, not necessarily playing that well. Del Zotto's got that point streak and he's playing very well.
I'd be happy for him too. It was a tough go when he was a healthy scratch for a series of games earlier in the season. And our Bud Light player of the game is not Michael Del Zotto. There's been one better, and he wears number 17. Wayne Simmons of the Flyers. So determined, such great work ethic, and when you combine it with skill, you get assists and you get goals. Wayne Simmons, our Bud Light player of the game. And Brian Boucher's standout star because he drafted before the draft was open. And you'll see that in post-game live.
Had a feeling you were going to go there.
Yeah, I tried to draft Simmer today, and was told that Bush emailed his draft pick in
last night.
Standout star last night. Bush, that is not allowed.
That is called taking it seriously. It's it in the day before the game. Puck into the Philadelphia zone. 15 seconds remaining. The Flyers about to match their season high with a 3rd straight win. They know they need a streak. Could this be it? As they have again excelled here on home ice. Crowd that remains showing their appreciation as the Flyers knock off the Winnipeg Jets 5-2. Wayne Simmons, one of many stars for the Flyers in this one. Steve Mason, another victory. Michael Del Zotto continues his fine play. The Flyers, 3 straight wins, now within a game of 500.
And so many pluses in this game for the Flyers, including the fact that they negated most of Winnipeg's great speed by being very cohesive defensively as a team. And when Winnipeg did break through, big number 35 in goal, Steve Mason was there for them. A terrific start for Mason, his first since before the All-Star break.
And the Flyers will try to make it 4 in a row. On Saturday, the Toronto Maple Leafs in town. Second meeting of the season between these clubs. Our coverage begins with Flyers pregame live at 6:30. Opening face-off on Comcast Sportsnet just after 7 o'clock. Here tonight, Dustin Byfuglien brought his Jets into town, one of the top road teams in the NHL, but the Flyers were ready, and they come away with a victory. The producer for Flyers Hockey is Brian Cooper, the associate producer Kyle Graber, and our director is Mike Mulligan. For Bill Clement and Chris Terry and I'm Jim Jackson. Once again, the final score tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers 5 and the Winnipeg Jets 2. Stay tuned for Flyers post-game live presented by Cure Auto Insurance.